Hey YouTube, so we're gonna be going the weekly outlook. I did kind of wait through Monday and everything, so I did kind of have that data going on, so I apologize. But starting off with the monthly, honestly, really, if you're gonna apply Power 3 to it, we have like a week and a half, 1 week, and then part of a week. So you could look for, if you're assuming the manipulation phase has already happened in the month, since you're so late into it, as well as you've taken out this monthly high and on ES, I want to say you've taken out, yeah, 1, 2. So you can expect some distribution to end off the month more than likely. Now, if you want to play the IPTA game and proceed to look back 20, you'd be with something like from previous day, 20 bars, and that's your range low to high. So you do something like that, we're still in premium for sure. Now, in terms of discount for in terms of discount for things to target, you would have either this CE of that wick on the daily. You could go for just this low in general. This daily swing low. These are pretty much forming equal swing lows. So if we get something in which we fail to break this early in the week and start to trade higher, you could look, on all honesty, to trade back up into like here. The reason I'm saying here is because body candles were offered up until here, and then it started the sell side delivery. So you're assuming some kind of inefficiency needs to exist on buy side for bodies of the candles, like from either this wick or possibly this daily high. So you're looking for some kind of retracement up into there as your daily draw if you're going to be bullish. Now, what that's going to look like on, say, the 1 hour, I had someone in my Discord ask me, actually on ES, is this area balanced? This red line, essentially, this large SIBI. And it is, but one thing I was going to explain to him was, if you have an area or a BPR being formed, balanced price range, that's getting fixed, while it's fixing essentially one area of price, it can be breaking another, and it has to go back and fix that newly broken area before it can do anything else. So what I mean by that is, we get snipping tool out. What you really have is, yes, from here to here, all this is balanced because it delivered the sell side, retrace, delivered buy side. But now, because of this aggressive sell side that has been offered, it's essentially broken this area. Now, if you want to look at what is balanced within this, you could use these wicks. So in all reality, you could be looking up for a daily draw or buy side draw up into like 41.20, essentially. Because that is the last spot that is really balanced and what possibly would need fixing because of this aggressive move down that has happened. And in tune, it was just fixing this previous SIBI right before it. It broke a new price level, so now it needs to fix that as well. And you'll notice that sometimes it'll move away. It'll, for example, leave a SIBI here, up in here, come back up to fix it, but because while it was fixing this, it broke this area, it'll retrace down into it, kind of like you see here, and then it can keep going. So while it's fixing an older price point, it could be breaking new ones with inefficiencies. Then it'll have to go back and fix those as well, is really what it is. So you could be looking for, again, something up in like 41.20 to possibly mitigation block or anything like that. Now, you can just use that to roll over, especially, again, if we previous week holds and we don't break it right away early in the week. Now, if you're going to start off with dollar and play the same game and assume you're bearish because inverse correlation, really, you do have this large imbalance right here still underneath this. I don't know if it would bother really coming down to it, but for the very least, if you're going to be starting off assuming power 3 on the weekly, you start off bearish for Dixie to assume bullish. You can get the bearish on the index. You could possibly look to run this daily low and see if bodies want to hold this 103 area, anything like that. Or again, you can play the consequent encroachment game and just go for CE and see what happens there as well. But a move down to 102.8 would be a lot for it to come all the way back up towards 105. And you're assuming that it's still going for this daily volume imbalance that has been marked out for a while. So on Dixie, if you're going to play this range from low to high last week, you're essentially working with a range that's, Tuesday to Friday's high. Now, there isn't much that is unbalanced that would need possible fixing besides, again, that 103 area. So it wouldn't make much sense to come back down here and just kind of chill. You're assuming something's going to happen or it's going to hold there, which, you know, it is good to have plans for both, but you want to be open to even, third possibilities or anything like that happening. But if you were to assume higher prices on Dixie, again, target that daily low, possibly bottom out here, and then you can run for it. Now, if you're going to play the same thing on Euro, which has to inverse this, you'd be looking for those same price areas more than likely to be visited. So if you're assuming Tuesday high of the week is going to hold, you're essentially looking at the same 107 area for Euro. So you can LR this and just low res liquidity run up into here, and then you would have to bottom out in order for dollar to continue its move higher. And it could happen. You could get some kind of reaction off this BPR, but again, it might just be a reaction and possibly just extra sell side generation, just so that way it can close near this low. So if this area does end up holding, assume it's going to break if you get some kind of manipulation higher first again. So we really need to see what Tuesday opens with. Another inverse correlated asset I like really following is UVXY, just because the market, their stock indexes will inverse it almost all the time, just like dollar will. So it's an extra thing you can use, especially with intraday trading, just to see where it's going. So I will be watching that as well. Now, if you're going to play the UVXY game, and you're going to assume inverse the asset pair of the index, you kind of have buy model setting up here. If you're assuming you get this is your smart money reversal, and you're shifting side of the curve, you would be looking for, some kind of move higher to get that side of the curve shift and above 507, which means stock's down. Now, if you were to do that, and assuming that's going to happen, you do have this little breaker here to start it from this red candle, essentially, which you could get something like that, which would in turn sweep a daily low, hold 5 whole number, and get some kind of move away. You could come down to like 490 if you really want to fix it, but who knows? But a deeper retracement of that is definitely possible for sure. So, or this breaker in here, the smaller one from here to here, if you want to use like this up candle, you want to have a bullish breaker. But it's really going to come down to, again, that side of the curve, what opposite close candles are supporting price. Is it green ones on the way down in here, or is it red ones on the way up? Which side of the curve are you on? Now, going to the old NASDAQ, same type of thing. If you get any kind of move back up in here and do 12.5, you could either look to like mitigation block this whole area, or trade back up into this BPR, because while it was fixing this old SIBI from Thursday, it made this EOD at 3. So you're looking for, again, that same thing. Could that get fixed? And then trade for weekly low at 12.265. And then this low right below here at 12.241. So you have kind of a double bottom sell side to target for. And you can still keep going lower if you really wanted to. Because, again, going back to that daily chart, we are definitely in the premium from low to high here if you're using IPTIS 20-day from the previous day, which is different than, putting at the first of the month or quarterly shifts, but it's just different ways to use it. So, but definitely, if we are going to be bearish, look for a move up, manipulate, distribute lower, weekly low, swing low. Sell side is there for us to essentially buy back from. Looking at GU, pretty much the same thing. If you're going to assume higher dollar, you could trade back up in here into 120. It's about 50 pips, 60 pips, maybe 90 at the highest. So that's pretty viable to go in here. Or you can play mean threshold of this, and then very more so 70 pips is very viable just to roll over under 118 here. Now if we're going to check out USD CAD and we're going to assume bullish dollar, same type of area we're expecting to be holding, which would be that middle of the week area. So if we go down to like a 1 hour and we apply time, looking for that same area to hold, which would again be that 9 o'clock level that we're looking at from Tuesday to Wednesday, that 133.5 for Canadian dollars. So we could possibly target this low and then go from there and see what happens. But obviously UJ as well and CAD, they need to be following Dixie, and you can use them for SMT or some kind of confluence altogether and go from there. But if we're going to apply time first to all of this, if it's going to run to the same pivot on every time basis, it should be running for here. Because this would be the last thing that would be inefficient, so to speak. And again, collect sell side and then just go back. Now, if we really want to go sell model all the way down, we could, by all means. But if we're really looking back to the monthly, we shouldn't be expecting super low prices. Applying that power 3 now, just back on the monthly. Open trade low. This monthly low has already been taken out. It should move towards this monthly high and this volume imbalance still. And it's hitting an old fair value gap on the monthly as well. So we really don't have much reasons to be shorting dollar, which is fine. But that's what we need to look for going forward. So I do like having Monday's data open, so we'll see what happens. It's basically just, pre-London check for the week. And we'll just play it out and see what happens and go from there. If you guys want to see anything else, definitely be sure to leave it down in the comments. You can do pretty much any topic you guys are looking for. That's all I got. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and peace.